Hello students, how are you all? Let's see what we are going to learn today. And today's topic is materials, metal and non-metal. So in just few questions, we'll revise a quick revision of chapter number 4, class 8, science. And the chapter is materials, metal and non-metals. So let's see the first question. So here comes the first question. The most reactive metal is potassium. Next, the metal which is liquid at room temperature, and it is mercury. Metals are generally solid. If you see the metal around you, they are generally solid. Next, the metal which is stored in kerosene, and the diagram is also drawn here, or the figure is also here. So it is sodium. Next, the non-metal which is liquid at room temperature. Generally, non-metals are also solid and gases. But there is a non-metal which is liquid at room temperature, and that is bromine. Material around us are classified into, so it is metals and non-metals. All metals are solid except mercury, which is in front of you. Metal oxides, when metal, they form oxide, like when you burn some metal, it forms metal oxide. So what is the nature of metal oxide? And that is basic in nature. Metals that you can easily cut with the help of knife, and they are sodium and potassium. Next, the property of metal by which they can be easily beaten into sheets, and that is malleability. A common malleable metal that you are using in your kitchen, and that is aluminium foil or aluminium. A metal which has no fixed shape, and that is mercury. Why it is not having fixed shape? Because it is liquid. Name a metal which has low melting point, and again it is mercury. Name a metal which is the best conductor of electricity, and it is silver. Although we are using copper, but silver has the best conductor of electricity. The property of metal by which they can be drawn into thin wires like copper. So it is ductility. Next, the best ductile metals are gold and silver. The electric wires are made up of which type of metals? And I have shown you some of the metals which are ductile in nature. So they are copper and aluminium wires. The property of metal that they can be easily used in making jewelry because they are lustrous or shiny. A metal with a high tensile strength, and that is iron. That's why iron is used in construction. What is the melting point of iron and copper? And the melting point of iron is 1535 degrees Celsius, and copper is 1083 degrees Celsius. Next, metals with low densities, and they are sodium and potassium. Why so? Because they are very soft. This property of metal is used in making instrument, and that too musical. So that is sonorous, means sound producing. It is the characteristic property of non-metals, means non-metals are known by this property, and that is brittleness. A non-metal which is a good conductor of heat, and that is diamond. They come in between metals and non-metals, means they have some properties of metal and other properties of non-metal, and they are called metalloids. For example, boron, silicon and germanium. Next, non-metals which is a good conductor of electricity, and the correct answer is graphite. It is a good conductor that you can see with the help of your pencil. Your pencil lead is also graphite. Next, a non-metal having luster appearance, and it is iodine. Most of the non-metal are soft except diamond, and diamond is one of the hardest known natural substance on earth. Name a non-metal which is liquid at room temperature, and it is bromine. Generally, non-metals are also solid and gases. Bromine is that which is liquid at room temperature, and this is bromine. A non-metal having low melting and boiling point. Generally, all the non-metals, they have low melting and boiling point except is graphite. It has a melting point 3700 degree Celsius. Next, non-metal which we inhale and it is essential for our life, and that is oxygen. A non-metal which we use in fertilizers is nitrogen. Non-metal used in water purification is chlorine. Non-metal which is used in crackers is phosphorus, and the non-metal which we use in antiseptic is iodine. Now let's do some questions which are based on the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So the first one is, what happens when a metal burns in air? Or let's take example of a magnesium ribbon. When it burns in air, it forms magnesium oxide, or it forms metal oxide. And when we mix this magnesium oxide in water, it forms hydroxide. So the formula is MgOH2. And can you tell me the nature of this magnesium hydroxide? It is basic in nature. And how can you test it? By taking a litmus paper. Next, same as magnesium, if you keep iron and exposed in air, then what will happen? It forms rust. And what is the equation? Iron plus O2 forms a hydrated iron oxide, and that is called rust. And can you tell me all these metals, इनका nature क्या होता है? They are always and always basic in nature. Means they convert red litmus paper blue. Next, what is the nature of rust? And that I have told just now, it is basic in nature. Next, name the product formed in reaction of sulfur and oxygen. Now, let's come to non-metal. When the non-metal react with oxygen, they form sulfur dioxide gas or non-metal oxides. Now, if this sulfur dioxide gas is dissolved in water, it forms an acid known as sulfurous acid. And slowly and gradually this forms sulfuric acid, and this is actual acid rain. Next, what is the nature of sulfurous acid? And that is acidic in nature. Next, so non-metals are acidic in nature. Copper metal vessels, when they exposed in a moist air for a long time, they causes a green coating that is called copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. So these are the green colored dots, or at times the whole they coat as green. Next, sodium reacts vigorously with water. Why? When you put sodium in water, it catches fire. Why? Because sodium is highly reactive. So we keep sodium under kerosene. What happens when iron reacts with water? Iron reacts with water, form rust, but it is a slow process. Do non-metal reacts with water? Like what will happen if you put carbon in the water? Nothing as much. Next, name a non-metal that catches fire in air. A non-metal, remember, that catches fire in air. And the correct answer is phosphorus. And this phosphorus is used in firecrackers. A non-metal kept under water, and the correct answer has come to you, and that is phosphorus. It is highly reactive in air, so it is kept under water. Next, name the gas that is produced when metal react with acid. So when the metals they react with acid, they form hydrogen gas. and when you bring a matchstick near this hydrogen gas, they produce a sound pop pop. So pop pop indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. A reaction in which the highly reactive metal displays the least reactive metal is called displacement reaction, and this is according to the reactivity series. What is the product when copper sulfate, which is actually a blue in color, react with iron? Or what will happen if in a solution of copper sulfate you put an iron nail? What will happen? Then the product is iron sulfate and copper. Slowly the blue color copper sulfate fades away, and on the iron nail there is deposition of copper. So this is the best example of displacement reaction, where iron, which is more reactive, displays the copper, which is less reactive. So thank you so much children for watching. I hope you understood this chapter well and you have solved all the question by your. Keep watching again and again so that you can understand all the question. And if you have any problem, then our next is a reactivity series. Just in 2 minutes you can understand why a metal is less reactive and why a metal is more reactive. Thank you so much for watching.